Oh boy, my old boss quit. Good for her, that place sucked. Anyways, welcome to another episode of Mitigating Madness. I'm Anthony, Tony, that guy, the painter guy, Rev, whatever you want to call me. Be polite about it. But I'm Tony, and this is Mitigating Madness. Thank you for joining me for another episode. So today, I found a bit of a doozy of a story. I read a little bit of it, but I didn't want to get too ahead of myself. I didn't want to, spoil any surprises. So I'm going to ask you to bear with me while I put some more practice into my public reading abilities. However, before we get started, share this video, like it, subscribe, comment down below if you've got a story of your own, if you got some comments as to how I'm doing over here. At the end of the day, I'm just trying. So help a brother out, and hopefully karma will get you back. All right? Or I will once I can. I'm going to be posting at least once a week on YouTube. The Instagram, however, is the same name, Mitigating Madness. I'll put it right here. There, I'm pretty active throughout the week. Everything from quick little videos that I find to just little reels and everything that I'm putting together. So, hit that up. For today's little story, I went ahead and found another story on Reddit. Again, I'm putting them down as true stories, and I'm choosing to believe, though some of them do get a little out there. But that's why we're here. I'm not here to prove anything is true, is false. If it's an obvious LARP, then yeah, nah. I'm not going to say anything bad about it. It's just not what I'm looking for, But I choose to at least believe the ones that are put under the True Stories Only guidelines, or something similar. Today's story is called "They Didn't Remove the Pool." I'm gonna give you a couple seconds there to figure out what you think the story might be about. Hint: a pool is indeed involved. So let's get started. When I was a kid, my family lived in a and one caveat: I'm reading directly off of this. Not everybody has the best writing skills. Same way I don't have the best speaking skills, So bear with me. I might add a the or him or in or some little word here and there, but it's just me trying to make sense of what's written down, not me trying to change the story. So a little bit of a heads up, but this is what we got right now. All right. When I was a kid, my family lived in a house in Grand Junction. Before we moved in, the landlord told my parents something unsettling. There used to be a pool in the backyard, and years earlier, their young daughter had drowned in it. Bummer. The house meant a lot to them, and they made it pretty clear that we need to take care of the property, as it was extremely sentimental and wanting nothing to change. The pool was buried by the time we lived there. Not removed, but buried. I lived in a similar situation there. The concrete foundation of the pool was still there. The outline of the pool could be seen because the grass was never grown. The outline of the pool could be seen because the grass never grew right. At the time, my sister and I were too young to really understand, so my parents didn't tell us at the time. My parents didn't tell us much, and we didn't ask. Still, strange things happened in that house. Things we noticed but didn't question until much later. We had a home alarm system that would chime out loud whenever a door opened. It didn't just beep. It announced the door. For example, ding ding, garage door, or ding ding, front door. Don't know why I used that exact inflection, but we're gonna move on. The back door, which used to lead to the pool, was still labeled in the system as pool door. Late at night, when everyone was asleep, the alarm would suddenly go off. Ding ding, pool door. So much more ominous on that one, but we're gonna keep going. Every bedroom in the house was close together. You could hear if someone got up, walked down the hall, or went into the kitchen, but no one ever did. You could do the same thing where I'm living, you know. You could hear all that, but in this case, everyone always does. You open the door and there's someone walking around at any given moment. It's so much fun. My parents would get up to check, and the back door would actually be open. This didn't happen once. It happened multiple times. Always late at night. The same thing happened with the garage door. The alarm would announce it, and again, no one had moved. Another thing I remember clearly was the garage itself. Okay, let's see what we got here. Whenever my mom asked me to take out the trash, I get this overwhelming feeling of being watched the moment I stepped inside. It wasn't imagination or fear of the dark. It was intense and specific. Like something was there, lurking in the shadows. I still remember that feeling to today. This is bringing back some very similarly aligned memories I have of a house I spent some time in as a young child, a young man. Yeah, a young child, really. I left that place. Fuck that place. Fuck that town. One night, my mom was awake in the living room while the rest of us were asleep. She saw a shadow move down the hallway toward the bedrooms. She assumed one of us kids was sneaking around, so she got up to confront us. She walked past my room first and saw the shadow go into it. My door was open. Certain she'd caught someone, she walked in and flipped the lights on. As a mother, she knew instantly that I wasn't pretending to be asleep. I was out. She checked my closet, under my bed, and around the room. No one else was there. Confused, she went to my sister's room, expecting to find one of them awake. Their door was closed, and both of them were asleep too. My sister shared a bedroom that we later realized was most likely the same room the landlord's daughter used to have. Never confirmed, just assumption. At night, they would hear tapping on the wall. It wasn't rhythmic, and it wasn't loud, just deliberate. It didn't sound like pipes, the heater, or the house settling. One night, they started screaming for our parents. Over and over, they kept saying, "Someone is knocking, someone is knocking." I shit you not, I'm getting goosebumps. I'm wondering if maybe these people lived in the house I grew up in. They were screaming so loud. I woke up and made my way to their room after hearing my parents rush out of their room into my sister's. We could hear it too. My dad always told us it was the heater or the pipes, and because we were kids, we believed him. Years later, when we talked about it again, he admitted the truth. He only said that because we were young. He never had an explanation for the sound. Cabinets and drawers also opened on their own from time to time. It became part of the background of the house. Unsettling, but never explained. Well, the unsettling part's all that really matters at the end of the day. I mean, it just makes you feel uncomfortable within your own domain. You know, it's reason enough. Eventually, my older brother came to live with us. He stayed in the room farthest from the rest of the bedrooms, on the opposite side of the house near the living room, which primarily served as an office. That room had large windows that looked directly out into the backyard, toward where the pool used to be. And here's a note, by the way. Note, my parents, same as myself and sisters, didn't tell my oldest brother anything about the history of the house. He is 10 to 11 years older than my sister and I. Okay. A little older perspective in there. I like it. I see it. All right, we go on. One weekend night, the rest of the family was in the living room watching TV. My brother had only lived there for a few weeks at this point. Suddenly he came out of his room, fast, pale, shaken, and genuinely terrified. He said, "Mom, there's someone in the backyard." My dad immediately went outside to check. There was nothing there. My brother claimed he always felt watched in that room, assuming something like what I felt in the garage, where your body tingles, stomach drops, and the hairs stand up on your arms and neck. I'm telling you, this is ridiculously close to something I personally went through, and oof, I'll probably tell those stories eventually. My mom, already uneasy from her own experiences, contacted the landlord and told them everything that had been happening. She asked if they had experienced anything while living there themselves. Let's see. Not long after that conversation, the landlords decided to renew our lease and told us they were moving back into the house, even requesting if we'd be willing to move out early. They didn't argue or seem surprised, just quiet and distant. My parents always assumed the loss of their daughter had changed them deeply. We moved out not long after. Years later, when we were older, we were debating whether or not we believed in ghosts or paranormal activity. Really? I mean, fair enough. You should always, I guess, lean on the side of logic or a more pragmatic approach at times. But if you're directly experiencing it, I mean, come on. Then my parents finally told us what they had seen and heard while living in that house. What made it worse was that our stories matched feelings, moments, and details without us ever knowing the full history at the time. Even now, telling it gives me chills. Me too. Writing it brings back that same familiar feeling. The one I had in the garage. The one that made the house feel like it was never truly empty. Note, this is a comment. Oh, and actually this was just added 20 days ago. The landlord never discussed many details, unfortunately. Assuming due to their reaction, they knew and possibly experienced it themselves. Possibly hoping that them moving would bring their daughter peace or push her to move on. This is an awesome story. I'm gonna put a link down below. And before anything, I forgot at the top of the video, the OP of this story is Credit Expensive 8757. If you're out there, if you see this, thank you for posting this story. I'll set a link down so that people get to your post directly. This is insane. The not quite the exact cause of the haunting, although I personally never knew. I have my theories how things were potentially exacerbated by things done by my family. However, this story, this house, at least from the limited details that we get, the buried pool and everything, the things seen outside windows, shadow people, the feelings that you would get, the ominous feeling, the foreboding feeling that you're getting watched and everything. I went through that heavily at at one of my childhood homes. But yeah, this story legitimately got the goosebumps going. I'm really happy I was, the universe provided me with some time, some rare time of peace and quiet in this home to record a little bit. So Credit Expensive 8757, thank you again for posting this. I'll put that link down below. If you guys enjoyed this, please, once again, hit that like button. Unlike it if you need to. I ain't gonna hate you. Comment down below if what you think about this story, what you think about maybe what's going on here. And yeah, share it. Follow the socials once more, right here and right here. Mitigating Madness at Instagram, and I'm also on Threads now too. You can find that through my Instagram page. I post there quite a bit. Conspiracy theories, just anything really. Ghost stories, whatever's on my mind. But aside from that, I'm here for it all. I'm here for a good time and a good vibe and just some beautifully creepy stories. As well, I got a few ideas for some other aspects that I'd like to tackle, some other topics, but I'll probably make a separate video or post date for that, and we'll see. In particular, I think I mentioned it a few times in my first couple posts. I have an innate love for hip hop, not just rap, but the culture itself. I grew up with that as much as the paranormal and ghost hunters and Sasquatch watch and all that shit. As much as that did for me, hip hop did that for me as well. So I do eventually want to talk about it. I've got Cole's new album playing on repeat. I can't wait for Keen to drop. We're also gonna get some new K-Dot out of that. Anyways, for Mitigating Madness, I'll keep it to the ghosts, to the creepy, to the spooky. And eventually I'll probably do something to start talking about the music and everything that I enjoy, the movies. And yeah, just a bunch of other topics and things that, I don't know, that I just feel like talking about. Again, not to be right, not to be wrong, just to have fun. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Mitigating Madness, and see you on the next one.